What's going on, guys? Orms Forum coming at you guys today with another video. And today's the day one of Detroit Lions training camp is upon us. It is here. Let's go. Let's get right into it. Today they reported July 27th. Been looking at all the reports going on the internet, and the TV, whatever I get my hands on, thanks to guys like Nick Baumgartner, Jeff Risdon, Mike O'Hara, Tim Twentyman, Jeremy Reisman, all those guys that cover the Detroit Lions. Thank you so much. Day one was pretty much a walkthrough. There was some obviously running around. There was some drills, obviously, and a little bit of 7-on-7s, and just all around football's back, and that's all that really matters. Now, let's get right into the Aidan Hutchinson talk right away. He was in there. He was running with the number ones. Right away, Dan Campbell was not messing around with this. They got him in there as soon as they could. Day one, first thing, boom, number ones. Dan Campbell, I think, I think some people were kind of wondering what he was going to do with Aidan Hutchinson right away. Was he going to kind of ease him into the mix and take it slow with him? Didn't happen. Thrown right in the shark tank, and was rolling with the number ones. So the number one defensive unit, he was in there. Him and Charles Harris on the edge. So that's one thing to talk about right away. And as I've always done with these reports, guys, I would talk about it as I go, and we'll discuss it then. But no pads on day one, by the way. Just some helmets. I don't know if they even had their shells on. Maybe it was just jerseys and shorts. But they did have their helmets on. Maybe some shells, but I think mostly it was just helmets and jerseys and shorts and cleats. So it's no full contact going on right now. I don't think they can hit until next week, and we'll see what going there. We'll see what happens then, but right now it's just they're taking it easy, kind of. Swift is out here showing off his speed and his athleticism. Boyle, there was one little drill where Boyle rolls right, throwing back to the left in the flats. Swift in stride, catching the ball and accelerating. Arrows are trending up for Deandre Swift. He's set to have a big year this year. They're talking about him. Vegas is all over him. Some people are betting big money on him to be the leading rusher in the NFL. I'd be a little bit careful with that bet, obviously, but he looks fantastic. Swift looks fantastic. He's shredded. He's in the best shape of his life. I'm not going to say he's on the bubble, but I think he's on a year where he needs to show more improvement and to be able to stay healthy. So that's one thing. And then new year, but the up and downs stay the same. They did this last year with the up and downs. If you don't know what up and downs are, look it up on an exercise. I used to absolutely despise these as an athlete, especially when you do these up and downs, and especially when you do these up and downs in full gear. It's where you jump up, go down, kick your legs out, and you're lying flat, jump back up again, raise up, kick up. Boom, 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 up and down, up and down, up, down, up, down. It's an excruciating exercise to do, especially when you're gassed. But this is how Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn, who started this last year, began this for year one for this new coaching staff, and Dan Campbell joined him. So that's awesome right there. There's some people out there, and some people out there in Lions land that said that he was only doing it for Hard Knocks. That's not true, because he did it last year and Hard Knocks wasn't even in the building. So I'm not Mr. Positivity every single time, but don't say stupid stuff when you don't know what you're talking about, Lions fans. Dan Campbell did this last year. He joined them in up downs. He joined them. There was no Hard Knocks there. Okay? So he's not just doing it for Hard Knocks. It's the way he is, man. It's the way he is. Enjoy it. Embrace it. So that's good. That's a good sign. They started it off 50 up downs for the defense. Let's go. Basically, like I said, walkthroughs, but they did some 7-on-7s. They did take place. Goff was seen looking for Hawkinson a lot, I guess, and made a few nice connections a couple times. Center Frank Knight center Frank Ragnow and nose tackle Ali McNeil lined up against each other a few times, but they were not in pads. So this is going to be a future sight, obviously, that I can't wait to see when these guys lock up in pads. Lee McNeil going on his second year. I think he needs to really impress. He had kind of an up and down last year, being a third-round pick coming out of North Carolina State. So I think I'm a little excited about to see the Lee McNeil versus Frank Ragnow when these guys get pads going. So that's exciting to learn and exciting to see. So, and then we had guys like the first team O-line set. You guys know who it is. Left tackle Taylor Decker, left guard Jonah Jackson, center Frank Ragnow, Halapula Vaitai, right guard. I'm still having trouble saying that man's name. Let's just call him Big V, but I will practice that name more. He's out right guard, and then you got Penei Sewell, the promising right tackle from Oregon, the stud right tackle from Oregon. Looking stronger, looking better, I guess, right now too. But the second unit was a question mark. So day one, just got the feelers out, want to see who's who, and they had guys like Obina Eze at left tackle, Tommy Kramer at left guard, Evan Brown at center, Logan Stenberg at right guard, and then Matt Nelson at right tackle. That was your day one, second unit O-line. We'll find out a little bit more about that as we go. I'm kind of interested to see where Kevin Jarvis fits in here too, because I think he's another promising guard that could push for Stenberg. I think Tommy Kramer's a lock to be a backup, so I really like him a lot. But that's your second unit O-line. Will Harris is officially a cornerback, guys, and he stayed with the corners all practice. And second-year player Ifeatu Melifonwu has been moved to safety. He is now a full-time safety, it seems like. But this could all change too as well. Day one, this could change too with injuries. They could be experimenting a little bit too. They're saying that this is where these guys are going to play, but don't be surprised if you hear about Melifonwu or Will Harris kind of bouncing back and forth, cornerback room to safety room. Versatility is key in this team, and this coaching staff loves it. So, but those, the move has been made, so be prepared for that. And then safety first. The Lions debuted a Guardian cap. It's a soft shell helmet cap with a waffle design so it can absorb more impact. It's a really goofy looking helmet, but it helps on the practice field, and hopefully it can it can hold up and we can get less concussions on the field. So that's good. It's a goofy looking helmet, but who cares? It's safety first here, and we need guys to stay healthy. We need everybody in the NFL to stay healthy, not just our Detroit Lions. So, and then Cephas already impressing out here too as well. There was a lot of Cephas reports. Obviously, he went up and made a really fantastic one-handed snag on Amani Warrior and safety Deshaun Elliott. The throw, man, I've watched this throw a few times. It was by Jared Goff. It was about 30 yards downfield. The throw was off. It wasn't a horrific throw. Okay, it wasn't a horrific throw, but it wasn't the greatest throw. I thought it was a pretty good throw, but it should have been maybe a little bit more to the outside. If Amani Warrior looks half a second earlier, it's probably picked off. The ball's probably picked off, but Quintez Cephas went up, stopped his route, and jumped. He outjumps everybody. Cephas, I bet you, has the best hang time, the best leaping ability on this team. He is an insane athlete. How this guy's not going to make the team, I don't really know. But it wasn't the greatest. He didn't have a picture perfect day, but he had he did this back in June. He made a one-handed snag or a fantastic snag. And he does it on day one of training camp. How he's not the number 5 wide receiver here could possibly even beat out Josh Reynolds. I'm not kidding. For that number 4. Well, Reynolds is probably that number 3. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that number 4, number 5. So But he went up and made a fantastic snag and then ended up dunking the ball through the goalpost. And then the greatest thing about that, if you watch that video, you see Antoine Randall coming out of the corner and running with Cephas and getting in his face in a good way, like yelling, like, yeah, man, like, woo, he's just giving him ups, giving him props. It was fantastic to see on day one. I really like to see that, man. Randall is just an exciting coach, man. Exciting. I just love it. And then we had Jeff Okuda's out there. He's healthy, and he was the leader out there with the DBs, man. He was barking out. He was barking out orders. He was engaged with coaches, engaged with players. He was working on the first team, working on the second team as well too. Him and Will Harris were kind of going in and out together. I don't think Jeff Okuda wasn't limited, so he was out there full bore going, and they're not letting up with him either. So they're just throwing him in the mix too as well. He locked up a couple wide receivers, and he gave Quintez Cephas a couple fits, I guess. Cephas was having trouble getting rid of him, and that's a great sign for Jeff Okuda. Now we need to see it. Now we're obviously going to hear this about. We need to see it with Chark and guys like Amon-Ra, and and eventually Jameson Williams. That won't be for a while, but it's good to hear that Okuda's out there and he looks the part. He's chiseled. He looks great from head to toe. He looks like he just looks like he's ready to go. And that's a good sign. Now, the eye-opener for me was Will Harris on the second team behind Jeff Okuda, like I kind of mentioned. But they were going in and out. They were kind of flip-flopping in and out, but Jeff Okuda starting at the cornerback position paired up with Amani Oruwariye. So it looks like they're trying to get some good competition between Okuda and Harris. Let's see who wins it. Melifonwu had some first-team reps as well at safety, but was mostly with the number twos. He was pairing up with guys like Brady Breeze and rookie Kirby Joseph out of Illinois. So you can see Joseph. They're trying to get him in the mix, but he's clearly. I'm not going to call him an afterthought, but he's clearly like the third, fourth safety coming off the bench. So do they have Melifonwu ahead of him right away? They could. Who knows? But it seems like an experiment right now. But Melifonwu was getting some first team reps, so that's something to be noted. Then we got Tracy Walker and Deshaun Elliott were basically the starters out there right now, and they should remain the starters. I can't see Elliott or Walker losing their jobs right now unless one of those guys like Melifonwu, Breeze, or Kirby Joseph outshine them. But we'll see. Hard Knocks is in the building. They're impossible to miss. They got the bright blue shirts. There's cameras everywhere. There's boom mics everywhere. You can see it. I can't wait to watch it, so that's fun. Now there's a little bit more on Cephas. He is the slowest wide receiver out there. There was a drill where they were doing, it was a chase drill. It was a chase drill where I remember these when I played football. We did it with linebackers. You would have a linebacker that would have a step and a half in front of you. He'd go, and then you'd go, and you would try to catch him. He would just simply try to catch him. Cephas couldn't catch anybody. He got caught right away. Even got caught really easily by DJ Chark. Explosive. Chark grabbed him like it was first, second step, grabbed him, and then ran right by him 10 yards. So Cephas being like super athletic, he's very, very slow. He's a slow wide receiver. He's completely relying on his skill set as a route runner and his athleticism. He's not going to beat nobody, burning them, running down the field, but he's just super athletic, but he is slow. And that's okay, man. That's okay. But it's a little bit of his downfall. Then linebackers were out there too. Kelvin Shepard, the linebacker coach, has declared all spots open. Nobody has a spot locked. So I love that. But Anzalone and Chris Board were getting primary first team reps. Barnes got in some work with Anzalone as well. And then Board clearly is the fastest linebacker out there as of right now. And then Barnes also getting second unit reps. With Sean Dion Hamilton was out there with him with the number twos. And then you saw guys like Jared Davis and Josh Woods trying to get in there as the third team, trying to pair up, just trying to find a pair. So clearly Jared Davis and Josh Woods are kind of like, the third unit. And then they're trying to get some reps. They're really trying to see what they can get with Barnes. So it looks like Barnes is going to get a lot of looks early on, and I'm excited for that as well too. So then we got some third unit was actually Josh Woods and Anthony Pittman. I'd like to see that. And then the rookies came in, and it was Malcolm Rodriguez and James Houston. So everyone take it easy on the Malcolm Rodriguez and James Houston hype a little bit, especially Malcolm Rodriguez. They are bringing those guys along very slowly, it seems like. It's only day one, but, it's a little bit telling. It's a little bit telling. Could they, could it all change? It's going to change because they want to get a pairing, right? They want to get pairings. They want to see who plays better with who. And chemistry is huge when you play the linebacker position. Football is a chemistry sport, man. It's like you have to gel with your partner. So Malcolm Rodriguez and James Houston are kind of like, the last guys coming off that bench as of right now, it looks like. So let's take it easy with those guys. Take it easy on the hype. They did do a 3 linebacker set, and it was Pittman, who was the third linebacker, mostly in there. So Anthony Pittman, that's the hometown product from Wayne State. So he's the guy that they were basically as that third linebacker on the field of play. So another thing to keep an eye on. Then Shepard, again, the linebacker coach, was very vocal about technique on day one. Got into a couple guys' face about hand use, about lack of hand usage, and it's something that they struggled with last year. So Kelvin Shepard's not having it, and he's vocal about it. He wants to see better technique, and I love that. Jack Fox, a little bit of Jack Fox news. He struggled a little bit on day one. He was having trouble getting punts to some of the punt returners during one drill, but then he would boom a kick, and then it would like show why he was a Pro Bowler last year. But he needs to be more consistent. He can't be shanking punts. He can't be struggling, and there was nobody even coming at him, I guess. So he needs to be a little bit better, Jack Fox, and he will. Then some UDFA news. Defensive tackle Demetrius Taylor. We talked about him during rookie mini camps. We talked about him during OTAs. We talked about him during mini camps. He was the guy that was kind of stood out as a UDFA, undrafted free agent, and he did it again, man. He was showing off his footwork, his change of directions, his acceleration skills were on point. So he's a guy that's gonna maybe make a little bit of noise. He's gonna keep it, and then the coaches are gonna keep an eye on him. No interceptions were thrown on this day, I guess. Good for the quarterbacks. Not good for Aaron Glenn's defense, though. But good for the quarterbacks, man. But we'll see what happens on day 2. But I like that. No interceptions thrown. That's a good start. Then some more UDFA news. Cornerback Cedric Boswell, the kid out of Miami, Ohio, broke up a pass intended for another UDFA, Corey Sutton. Boswell is very fast and he's very physical. So that's a really good sign, and it's a good sign for Aubrey Pleasant. Aubrey Pleasant noticed it, and he acknowledged Boswell on that with a high five. Jamal Williams was in the hot tub singing, I guess, joking and bothering other players who joined him. It was all individual cold tubs, hot tub, cold tub, whatever they were in. I think it was probably a cold tub. And Jamal being Jamal, just joking around, having some fun. Campbell is clearly the leader out there. Players love him. Players respect him. Him and Jamal Williams were sharing a moment. They were laughing. They were hugging each other. It's really nice to see this day and age in 2022 with that, because we never seen any kind of nonsense on Twitter or any kind of media outlet about how this organization was a joke last year from the players. They at least was, we only won 3 games last year. We get it. We weren't a good football team, and we're still not a good football team. We're still not. Not until they prove they are, right? So we have to show that we can play football. And then it's good that they love Campbell, and it's good that he's leading those guys, and he lets his coaches do their thing. He doesn't interfere. He's not an X's and O's guy. It's not really his thing. He goes about his business, and he's engaged. He's in there showing techniques, trying to do what he can do as a head coach, but he's not going to be your X's and O's guys. He's not in there being that type of guy, but he is a leader of men. Even Jared Goff on Campbell. There's a nice little quote here from from Jared Goff, our starting quarterback. Dan's awesome. We love his energy and what he brings every day. And I think nationally, everyone's going to get a glimpse of it now with Hard Knocks. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's real, and he's not putting on a show. It's who he is, and I think that's what we respect about him. That's great words from our starting quarterback, because he's not a phony, he's not a fake, and we love to see that. Then J-Mo was out here, Jameson Williams, the 12th overall pick that they moved up to get out there, that they moved up to get in the draft. And to answer anybody's questions, I think I answered this before. Since he's put on the NFI list, the non-football injury list, he is allowed to be at practice. He just can't practice. But he had a book in his hand. He had a playbook in his hand. He was engaged with Antoine Randall, his wide receiver coach, reading practice script, studying other players, just getting engaged. And he was also seen a lot with Deuce Staley. Deuce Staley is very involved with this whole Detroit offense. He's not just a running back coach. So it's good that he's going back and forth between Antoine and running back Deuce Staley. It shows that the kid cares. It shows that he wants to be here. Everyone thinks he doesn't want to be here. You're clueless. He wants to be here and he wants to participate. When he comes on the field, we'll know sooner than later. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. The good thing is he can come back anytime. They'll take it easy on him because he still has not recovered 100% from his injury. Right now, it's DJ Chark, St. Brown, and Josh Reynolds as the number one wide receiver, 1, 2, and 3. You know, number 4 could be, who knows who number 4 is going to be, who knows who number 5 is going to be. Cephas is in there, Trinity Benson's in there. There's other guys in there, right? Jameson Williams is eventually going to be in there. So as of right now, your 1, 2, and 3 are Chark, St. Brown, and Josh Reynolds. As of right now. Could Cephas maybe surpass Josh Reynolds? That's the big question here. Could Benson? I don't know. My money would be on Cephas. But as of right now, I think Cephas is the number 5. I think he's the clear-cut number 5. Number 4 right now, though. Number 4 until J-Mo gets back. So, you know what I mean? So I can see that. And then Levi Onwuzurike was moving well. You know, our second-round pick last year out of Washington. He missed a lot of training camp last year. He missed a ton of time. He missed games. He was moving well. He's healthy. He looks good. He's chiseled. He's lost weight. I think he's lost about 10, 15 pounds. I think he is. He's about 280 something. I think he came in last year at 290 something. I think he's a little smaller than that now, and he's quicker and faster. Who knows how that's going to translate onto the NFL field? But we'll see. But at least he's out there. At least he's running around looking good. And then finally, Josh Paschal, our second-round pick out of Kentucky. Okay, it's literally been noted now, and it's been reported. He is suffering from a sports hernia. I looked into this. I should have made a whole separate video on this, but that's okay. I looked into this last night for 2 hours. I Googled lower extremity Josh Paschal injury before the Citrus Bowl. Josh Paschal injury at Kentucky. It didn't tell me nothing. It got to a point where it was maybe a quad, maybe a calf. Nothing was said about a sports hernia. Now, today, if you Google Josh Paschal injury, it comes up groin. So he's got a sports hernia groin thing going on. I hope that injury goes away soon. That's an awful injury, by the way. Be concerned now. I'm actually concerned about that. I probably should have started off with this. That is a big concern. Sports hernia, groin. I hope he's going to come back from that. I'm sure he's going to. And no, I'm not throwing shade on Joshua Paschal or Brad Holmes for making the pick, like I was accused of for making that video yesterday, because I didn't want him. It's not that I didn't want him. I just thought he was a reach at the second round. And I still think he's a reach. Brad Holmes has this affinity for grabbing injured players. And that's okay. I don't care. As long as they at least compete sooner than later. You know, did it last year with Levi Onwuzurike. He did it this year with Paschal. He did it this year with JMO. He did it this year with James Mitchell. He did it with 3-4 guys. That's fine, as long as they eventually participate and contribute. But as of right now, Paschal's got a sports hernia. Sports hernia groin, that's what comes up. I hope it goes away. Those things take time, though. It's been 8 months. It's been 8 months that he's been suffering from this. He did practice a little bit this year at rookie minicamp. He probably shouldn't have, and he aggravated it. So he probably wasn't 100% healthy, and he probably wasn't telling his coaches he was 100% healthy. But they do have physicals, so I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not throwing no shade on Brad Holmes. I'm not throwing no shade on Joshua Paschal. I just want them to stay healthy. I want him to stay healthy. I want everybody to get healthy on this team. But that's a little bit concerning to me. But that's it, guys. This is a long video. It's a 25, 26-minute video. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell on all my videos. And let's talk about day one training camp. I will report this every day as I can, hopefully as the day goes on, because I'm back to work. So it's a little bit tougher for me to get it early. You're probably going to get it late like you are right now, but that's okay. Better late than never, right? Thanks a lot, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I already said all that, Jess. Go Lions, one pride. Let's go. Boom. Thanks, guys.